Sarisha,
Hi,
good to talk.
hi,
How you doing?
Jennifer. I'm good. How you doing?
Good. We're excited to talk. After the last time you came on, you came and dropped some pretty big information, pretty big news. Obviously, the market reacted well to that. So, you tell us, hey, we got some big updates, some big announcements to release live on stream. Let's jump right into it.
Yeah, yeah, really excited to be here. Firstly, thank you both. Whoever's involved in MCG for having us on these spaces.
Of course.
Yes, we do have some absolutely big newses in our kitty, which we want to reveal now. Yeah, maybe I have the agenda, Dom, if you want me to go through
Go for it.
that.
Yeah,
So
however you want to run it.
maybe
Yeah.
maybe I'll start like this. Just tell us generally how things been going. How's development here? You're kind of in this acceleration phase where you've gotten the funding. Now it's time to push this product out to the masses and get in people's hands. How's that been going? How's that process?
Yeah, so now Kickstarter. I mean, we're on Kickstarter. I mean, one of the major things that we are focused on is to bring some traffic to the Kickstarter. We are doing everything we can, and similarly, we are doing a combination of B2B where we are onboarding a number of sports performance labs where this product is key for them, right? I mean, it's a need for them. Hydration is not nice to have for them, but something that they survive of hydration and electrolyte monitoring. So we are in discussion with MLS and some of the major leagues, WNBA or it's MLS or Major League Hockey teams. So those discussions are ongoing, and some of them are testing the sensors. So yeah, all focused heads down on scaling mainly with the flagship product, and obviously we're also doing the same for other products that we have in our portfolio. So that's going pretty good. Every single day, a lot of meta marketing, a lot of investment is going on into meta budgets and whatever we can do to scale via email marketing or partnerships or signing up new players, and then talking to a number of customers. So that's all ongoing.
Nice.
And then to add to that, I think the latest conference or the last week's conference where I've been, invited as a speaker to Wearable Technologies Conference. I think that was a kicker. I mean, we had a pretty good amount of traction. We came in contact with someone like Roche. We came in contact with someone like Samsung, where they
Oh
all
wow.
expressed an interest. And yeah, so the discussions are ongoing. Obviously, the bigger partnerships, they take time, right? They take time to come on board, sign off the deals, but then yeah, they all recognize this product as something that's really needed, not just for athletes or fitness conscious individuals, but anybody who's for every individual, hydration is really key, and electrolyte monitoring is really key. And being able to develop something like this is absolutely a good thing. And Roche's feedback was great. Similarly, Samsung is interested. So these are some big names that we're talking about. And in addition to that, we are signing up or in the process of signing up a collaboration, scaling up collaboration with Wearable Tech themselves, because they have massive outreach in different markets, whether it's Asia or Europe or US. So through them, we are expecting good amount of partners to be signed across, and I'm invited to speak again in Germany in November in Medica. So we've been in journey for a long time with them. We've been one of those companies, 12 finalist companies in 2021 who competed for the Innovation World Cup, and that's how the journey with them got established, and we've been with them. So now bringing the CEO of Wearable Technology as one of the advisors, and trying to establish a contract with them from the sales perspective. I think that's those discussions are ongoing. That's really a big thing.
That sounds pretty cool.
But
What would the
yeah,
value be in that? Just pure really good distribution, great
yeah,
network.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's distribution. It's access to major league clubs, and it's probably access to some big brand partnerships like hydration companies, for example, Dom. So many others. I mean, it would be too early to really say what's coming out of it, but then those are the lines of discussions what I have had with the CEO, and that's an interesting piece for us from that conference more than anything else. signing up the CEO of wearable technology as an advisor. I think that's a big thing. That's a big takeaway for us.
It's awesome.
He himself was a wearable enthusiast before he started wearable tech, conferences. I think that's kind of his motivation to support us, a company like us, and they've been watching us for a very long time. So now they agree that this is time to jump in, right? So that's in a nutshell about wearable tech conference. I mean, many others are ongoing discussions with them, smaller, bigger partnerships, and also some manufacturing partnerships, some contract manufacturing partnerships, a lot of collaborations within San Francisco, which is the place, for a device like this. So yeah, I mean, it would be too much to talk about all of those things right now, but yeah, a number of things are ongoing, number of collaboration discussions are ongoing, and few investors were interested. So let's see. We will keep announcing as things keep moving with them.
Cool. I want to get more into that. I want to get more into your announcements that you come on here to make public. But let's watch this video because it's a super cool video, and you guys can find this on their Kickstarter. You can find more information on their packs, what they're building, all on their Kickstarter. It's a really great like hub for information. But this video is sick, so I'll play it. Josh, maybe I'll stop sharing and reshare just so I can make sure
Yeah.
the audio is working.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna play this though. Let's see.
There we go. Maybe turn the. Yeah.
Your sweat speaks. But are you listening? We overhydrate. We guess. We cramp. Because we don't know what our body really needs. Introducing the HydroSense Pro by ISENS. After 5 years of research and innovation, we created this AI-powered, non-invasive sweat sensor for real-time hydration and electrolyte monitoring. It collects and channels your sweat to detect key electrolyte markers like sodium, potassium, and chloride. From athletes to everyday movers, HydroSense helps you perform, recover, and live better.
I had to have a sip of water just watching
This is
this.
revolutionary technology.
Dehydration, microfluidic.
Perfect for sports.
Super easy to put it on.
Sweat smarter, perform better. Back us now on Kickstarter.
Boom. Yeah, I love that video. I thought it was pretty cool, but
Thank you.
wanted to show that. But nonetheless, let's keep this conversation going. And you seem to have a list of things you want to talk about. You didn't really brief us too much going in, so I'll kind of let you just kind of take the floor on all that.
Yeah, so I think the first topic we've already covered, which is the takeaways from Wearable Tech Conference, and yeah, a lot more to come from there. The other bigger thing which we were announcing on Twitter is the term sheet that we have received from an investment company called GEM. Let me see if I can share my screen. I just wanted to flash that.
Yeah, I would love to, because I'm not familiar with this company.
Yeah, so this is GEM, and pretty legit investment company. Of course, they also do equity funding, but then lately they started investing in companies which have launched their tokens.
Ooh.
So this is what has come in. This is really big for us, and we're like literally looking for some sense of direction here. We're calling out any advisors or anybody, any whales who might have had a similar experience or who might have gotten a similar term sheet and materialized it. So this is the big news for us. This we received a couple of days ago, and yeah, working on it, getting
Okay.
some piece of advice. Yeah.
This is okay. That's his commitment of $15 million. Can you just explain to us here what we're looking at, what this means, just to give us and the audience a better understanding?
So, it could be a combination of equity, it could be a combination of token and equity. I mean, we are still structuring the terms. This is what we have received from them, but we are still investigating. We are getting into the weeds of it and trying to understand line by line and to, go back to them with another round of discussion where we have some questions to be answered. But the overall summary or the gist of it is like, we need to be on a centralized exchange, and then they would buy the tokens worth of 15 million. So that's the sort of an understanding what we are getting from this, and we are going to do that. And um, the reason why I'm discussing this openly here is like, we are looking for advice. We are looking for anybody who's been there within crypto, who's a crypto native, who might have done a similar thing, either invested or got invested from someone, from one of the crypto investors. That's the reason I'm opening this discussion over here. So, yeah,
Okay.
just
Yeah.
getting into the weeds of it. I mean, I really don't have all the information. The legal teams are working on it. The counter terms is what we are working on it, and we need to go have another round of discussion with them. But those guys are really legit, and they're really keen on investing in InnovaSense, from their side. So that's where it stands at this point in time.
Interesting. So let's have an open discussion about this then. I want to do some research on them. Gem Token Fund.
Yeah.
Because this is pretty interesting. I haven't seen anything like this actually, that I can remember, where there's a company like this looking to put such a sizable investment in a token, and then also maybe combination of equity. So I want to look into this. This is interesting. Gem Token Fund. Josh, any input there on what you're seeing?
I actually think I know these guys because in a previous token project that I worked on in 2021, we were looking at doing a similar deal to this.
Okay.
So I do have actually some familiarity, but I don't know if I want to say it necessarily on stream. Maybe it's advisory that we could do off stream. But yeah, I think at the end of the day, you need funds to continue to grow and more so scale marketing, and potentially even buy some of the token for a treasury and whatnot. I think that's kind of like what you're looking to achieve by one of these raises. Is that correct?
Absolutely, Josh. That's the purpose of it. We don't know whether it's going to be Gem or it's going to be others. We're also in discussions with a few other crypto investors. So we have
What you
to
can do with one of these sheets, if you do come to an agreement on something like this, is then go to the next ones and then say, hey, like, we already have this in place. These are the terms. Do you want to also be part of this at, similar terms or whatever, right? So, yeah, there are ways to definitely.
Yeah.
So to understand, you have a couple people you're in communication with. I think you mentioned Samsung earlier. You mentioned wearable technology conference. You're obviously mentioning Gem Token. These are all people you're in conversations with for raising further venture capital.
Right. I think for Samsung, I think it's more of a collaboration. What we are in discussions with them. We did not touch base with the ventures team yet. Maybe that's for a later point in time. But wearable tech, yeah, they could do a combination of both. I mean, they're not investors themselves, but then they have a good number of investors in their network, who are really interested.
I have a question on like these types of, obviously Sony was also on your cap table, which is notable, but like, are these like Samsung, for instance, like how would they actually integrate the sensor into one of their products? Like, do they have to add some additional hardware to the wallet, or is it more licensing software? Like, how does this actually like end up in a product to do this type of sensing?
Yeah. So what they could, I mean, it could be a license. It could be partly a license and some level of integration. Sony is definitely discussing integrating these sensors into their smartwatches, Josh. Right. So that's on cards. Samsung, we are still in the very initial phases of discussion. We don't know if it's going to be that, or if it's. I mean, we also came up with another software piece, which I'm going to discuss, towards the end of this session. So maybe it's a license, or it's a combination of both. It totally depends on what they want and how they see this. But for Sony, definitely they have an interest in integrating the sensors into the smartwatch. And we, as a technical team, we have figured out a way as to how we do that, from the development perspective. So yes, anybody who says a smartwatch company which says yes, I mean they have an interest. Yeah. That's an element what we want to consider. And I also have to mention another company called Hydrostasis. They're already doing PPG based wearable for hydration monitoring, and they came in contact with me yesterday, and they're also interested. We are yet to explore which way we are going to head with them. But yeah, so it could be a combination. Maybe some will say integrate your sensors into the smartwatch, and some will say, like, we might need the know-how or licensing to the software piece, what we have built. The software is absolutely a latest edition which has come through the last couple of weeks as we were trying to build the token utility. I'm going to talk about it in a while. So yeah, so that's where we stand with it in terms of integrating the sensors into the device.
When it comes to integrating sensors, can you pretty much do that into any device? Could you do it into a ring, into a watch, into a t-shirt? Like, what's the limitation there?
So we are considering a fabric. It needs to be a special fabric. I mean, we initially considered any athletic wear, but that's not working. So it has to be a specific fabric where we can put the sensors in, and then we can use the sweat to collect the metrics, right? So fabric is definitely on cards. That could be a project, or a portfolio, one of the portfolio products. Smartwatch, yes. We have explored the smartwatch. I cannot speak anything about rings yet. We have not done that research. We don't have any data on that. So I think it would be too early to jump into
Yeah.
something like that. But smartwatches and fabrics, yeah, we can collaborate with them, and we can integrate the sensors into them.
Cool. Very cool. Let's
Yeah.
talk about the software aspect that you recently started exploring. I guess maybe start off by just explaining what that is, why it's beneficial, and I guess your future plans here that you came on to talk to us about.
Yeah. So the one thing what we are trying to accomplish at this point in time is, like, we were trying to define the utility to our community, the token utility, and we have to put our heads together in understanding how we can best deliver the utility to the token holders, while they don't have to literally invest in buying a product, but still can do something with the manual input, right, with the app. So that was the utility piece of it, where we started building some things. And of course, through our discussions with Garmin, we also started working behind the scenes, and we started developing the app. And we offered the manual input to them, as a starting point before they start buying the sensors, or Garmin users start buying the sensors officially. So through those discussions, the idea of trying to define the same kind of utility to our token holders came up. And this data element and this combined analysis of multi-parameters, that's the idea, has always been part of our product portfolio, where we aim to do something with the data that we would collect at a later point. We thought, like, we're drawing electrolytes, we're drawing hydration, we're drawing lactate, glucose, whatever that is. Now everybody knows that data is the gold, right? And we could do so much with the data, and data in itself could become a revenue stream for the company. So we had that on cards for a very long time, but we, out of the focus of on many things, we couldn't really pay attention to that. And now, through our discussions with Garmin, since we proposed the manual input, we came back to the drawing table and asked, like, if we could do something around the combined analysis of these multi parameters with the data. What could we offer them? How could this turn out to be something for the token utility, right? So those are the discussions. And then now, we're almost there. I think I would say 60-70% of the app is already done. We are trying to do a combined analysis of multi parameters, where we're saying, like, if you've an intake of 2 liters of water with 5 hours of sleep, how would that mean to a user? And this does not need the sensor. This is absolutely a manual input. So that's the combined analysis we are trying to bring on board for the token utility. Let me. Yeah.
Have you thought about partnering with apps like Waterminder or anything like that for something like this? Because we know I think we have Chris on pretty
Yeah.
soon, and it's an interesting discussion.
Yeah. So Yes, that discussion is always on cards, and Chris is taking more time as they are heads down with something. That does not mean that we are not going to collaborate with Chris. That's definitely on cards, and whenever they're ready, we are there. We are ready.
Cool.
But as part of our development, as part of our comprehensive analysis and combined analysis of multi-parameters, right? So that's the scientific terminology. Combined analysis of multi-analytes, multi-parameters, and then drawing meaningful conclusions for a regular person where hydration meets the regular needs, right? Hydration is an important metric for them. And if we combine hydration with sleep, combine hydration with steps or the calories or their exercise, combine hydration with stress metrics, right? You take the heart rate variability and then you try to make an analysis of what happens if somebody has taken an X amount of water, or where we gauge and tell them like this is not enough fluid intake for you for your body mass index, and then we tell them like this is how your based on your HRV as a uh, marker or a analyte, this is the conclusion that we are able to come up with, right? So we have done scientific analysis behind the scenes, came up with these conclusions, involved scientists and data analytics people, and then physiologists to come up with these conclusions. So this is the utility that we are going to announce soon. A combination of couple of use cases: sleep, stress, muscle strength and cramps, and regular exercise plus hydration. So these are the combinations that we have done.
And
Uh,
so, to be clear, this app that you've created is in collaboration with Garmin. You're working with them on this, or how does that look?
I mean, the story pretty much started with with Garmin being at the forefront, and how do we develop something for their manual inputs, and then we went back to our drawing board and opened up the portfolio of all the ideas that we had, and then we said like let's try to do something around combined analysis where it becomes a key input for Garmin users. As a step one, they start doing this with manual input, and step two, they start using the hydration sensors and get real value out of the product, right? So that's
Nice.
how this started, and then now this turned out to be in a way that now, can we give this to the token utility? Can we give this to a community who have bought the tokens or who will buy the tokens? Can we define this actual utility for them with some manual input? So that's when we said like, yes, I mean, this is a great thing to do for the community, and this is the way we can offer them the utility. So with simple manual input of water intake and hydration intake and steps and heart rate variability and number of hours they slept, they should be able to get conclusions, meaningful conclusions, which are analyzed, thought through, physiologically proven, research backed conclusions is what we're coming up with. That's the
Nice.
utility. Yeah.
Cool. Cool.
Yeah.
Do you have any showcases of the app right now you could give us, or just the slides for now?
Yeah, the slides for now. I mean, the UI designers are working on this. Dom, I think next couple of days we should be having some snippets of the app screens that we
Cool. And
can.
we can expect that on Twitter, I'm assuming.
Yeah, yeah,
Cool.
they
Cool.
should be coming onto Twitter. Yeah.
And
So,
with the Garmin relationship, how will that? I guess how will like it look like in a final product form? And maybe some of this is not figured out yet, because you're kind of starting this discovery. Will it be like the patch that you see in the videos shown? Will someone scan it and then it's synced up with the Garmin data? Like you're making an API call between the two
Yeah.
products.
Yes.
Okay. And then does Garmin have like a marketplace or something that
Yes.
iSense products can be discovered in? Is that how it works?
Yes, that's the collaboration. I think the first step is to integrate, bring in all their metrics into the app, and then give them our metrics, and then do a sort of combined analysis and
Right.
draw conclusions.
So
right?
let's say I'm an athlete. I have a Garmin smartwatch, right? Now I open my iSense app up and it's connected to that. I connect it to that, pulls in a bunch of biometric data.
Yeah.
Then I have the patch on my arm, scan that, and then you're doing some analysis that combines those two. Now, I think what you're maybe this potential partnership helps you scale your product, is that Garmin has some ways of promoting that as a potential solution to hydration, generally, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Which will help you sell more products and grow your business and awareness of your business.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's the way forward.
Yeah, and then timing around that, like, is this something that do you think will be in place, like, like, is this a month away, or is this kind of like a next year thing? Like, how do you think of timing around that?
So the timing with the Garmin integration, I think with the manual input, we're already there. Like you're seeing the screens and everything. I mean, that's the first step. That should be up and running. The moment we say that we've launched on the iOS and Play Store, and we have the approval, and the testing is complete both from Garmin's side and our side. That could go online. Maybe a month from now, maybe a little over a month from now, with Garmin, to complete those integrations. And step two, where the people start using the sensors, that could be towards the end of first quarter 2026. That's the timeline with Garmin. We are looking at it as two different steps. Step one is manual input. Step two is the actual hydration usage, right? The sensor usage. That's how we're looking at it.
This is interesting. You're totally in the phase, I guess, to give people some backstory and understanding. They've been developing this for what, 7 years now? They've been developing this for 7 years now. You've gotten the funding from EU Commission, Sony, Eureka, Eurostar, and that's really given you time to hone in on this project. Now you're kind of in that phase where it's like, okay, let's bring this to market, let's scale, let's find partnerships, and just get this as mainstream as possible, as quick as possible.
Right.
And so that's currently where you're at, and that's why you think these. You just spoke at the Wearables Technology Conference, and you have, I'm sure, many, many more networking conferences planned. And you're talking with Garmin, you're talking with these other VCs and Sony and whoever, a few people you mentioned. I just want to conceptualize that for people because it feels like you're really in that scaling phase. And so my question for you, Shrisha, would be next steps. Like what are you guys most focused on? What are your sights set on? Where are you taking iSense?
Definitely the biggest important milestone for us is to scale with this, Dom. Scaling is the focus. We have certain targets in terms of revenues and how we have to achieve them. Every single day, it's a combination of B2B, B2C, email marketing, meta marketing, onboarding partners like Garmin to bring more visibility, brand partnerships, although they don't contribute to immediate sales, but then they bring us a lot of brand visibility. And then we're talking to one or two hydration companies as well. So a combination of all of these things is going to bring more eyes onto the project and increase the sales, and it'll accelerate our efforts. So that's where we are heads down on. And the second bigger milestone is obviously to get ourselves funded, either through a crypto investor or through an investor out of crypto, or a combination of both, right? So that's the second bigger milestone that we're trying to accomplish for the company, because that will give us more scaling budget, in terms of meta spend, in terms of everything that we're trying to do, because we need to attend a number of conferences and everything is paid, right? So not everything is coming for free like wearable tech, but there are something around MLS, something around these major leagues are all paid out. So to bring those scaling budgets and to be able to engage a proper sales team, and then to get at least a 10 people sales team where all of us are heads down and trying to scale whatever products that we have in the company, we need to bring some funds on the operations side as well. So these are the two big milestones for the next 6 months. We're not going to do anything else other than this. Of
And
course, we have to balance out with delivering the token utility on this platform. So we're also working on that.
Okay, that's a great point you just ended on there. I guess the question I'm seeing is, well, you're doing all this scaling, you're trying to get this product integrated, make some money. How does this directly benefit the token holders, right? Is a big question they've been asking. Do you have maybe some words you could speak on when it comes to that?
Yeah, that's the reason I'm speaking about the token utility. This solution, what I'm flashing on my screen, let's say like simple sleep analysis, which they normally do not get a lot of. A lot of apps do not provide this kind of combined analysis or comprehensive analysis, what we have come up with. And this is scientific. And this is not something that, we are just flashing because we want to do this for token utility. But this has been an idea for us where we talked about combined analysis of multi-parameters since 2018, Dom. So now we have realized that we've involved the right amount of people, and we've studied a good amount of data where we said, like, somebody has X amount of sleep and this amount of hydration and this amount of heart rate variability and stress levels, etc. So that's the value, the token utility, and the value is in this app. When they start using it, they'll really feel the difference. They'll really see the difference of the hydration intake versus any activity that they're trying to do, plus sleep, plus for women's health, specifically for menstrual cycle and the period tracking, and how a person or an individual is affected if they're dehydrated, and how does that result in cramps during their menstrual cycle, right? So these are all the real values and real gems that we're bringing to the table, to the token utility, to the token holders, right? So that's how we are trying to answer that question and roll this out in the next couple of days, or probably a week to 10 days max is what we're looking forward to launch this, the token utility. And that's the most value that we can give the token holders.
Okay, this is interesting. I'd also be interested to know how likely is it for you guys to implement some of this technology into other apps and other platforms? I'll take the menstrual cycle as an example. I know a lot of women track that through apps on their phone and stuff. Your technology could probably value a lot of these, would be valuable in a lot of these apps. Are those conversations happening?
Yes, we are starting. I mean, I think one or two app companies. I mean, I just had a call with one of the companies in UAE, and they are extremely interested. And we spoke about all these different use cases. They're interested in both the sensors and the app. So, yes, we are having ongoing discussions, Dom. I mean, we don't have any big brand partnerships yet around this, other than the Garmin thing that we're working on. But yes, a number of app companies who are already targeting any of these metrics, whether it's sleep or menstrual cycle or stress, would largely benefit by integrating our app into theirs. So we see that, and we will be working towards that.
That's a big vertical that I would love to see you guys,
Yeah.
tap into. So I'm glad to hear you're working towards it. Is this, you said this is going to be token holder utility. So I'm assuming will it be token gated, or how will it be specifically for token holders rather than just everybody else?
And the team is working on this. I mean, I don't have all the answers. Obviously, my knowledge here in terms of tokens is a little limited. How we are looking at it is, like, anybody who's holding a token can use a percentage of this token to buy the premium subscription, to get all the metrics, to get the complete AI analysis and combined analysis of the metrics, right? So that's how we are building this one. I think more news is yet to come on how we are clearly defining the token utility, and how the token perspective information, that's all going to be revealed out on.
Got you. Got you. No, I think you wrapped that up pretty nice, put it in a bow for us. I think it all makes sense. I have some tweets maybe I would love to highlight as
Yeah,
well. Just see.
I'm just going through these are tweets. The first one there is Coach Bede. Is it Coach Bede? I think
Yeah.
let's play that video because he actually has the sensor with him, and I think it's important to see.
Tell me if you can hear it. You know how it goes. I typically have to redo it, so let me know.
Yeah, you know how the production here is at MCG.
One of the
get
most
the
important
video,
dynamic
audio.
and foundational pieces of strength training is proper hydration. In fact, hydration goes a long way with regard to competition. Most people don't have an idea of when they are getting close to being dehydrated, or if they're losing potassium or possibly sodium that could lead to cramps. All that has changed. A brand new app, and most importantly, a brand new wearable, HydroSense, allows you as parents, and more importantly as student athletes, to monitor your hydration levels, which are critical to performance and endurance. I encourage you to check out the link below. Go to their website, try this out, download the app, HydroSense. It's new and it's needed for all athletes of all ages.
So partnerships like this, what's the big benefit? I see, obviously you made this tweet about it, but what's the big benefit? Is it just getting HydroSense patches into these athletic programs, and what's the big benefits of this partnership with Coach BD here?
So they are a large network of athletes. His focus is baseball, but then he's also connected with other biggies, into sports, whether it's basketball or others. Dom, so the idea, I mean, this is one of the collaborations that you're flashing here, but I do have another 4 to 5 coaches, who's collaborating with us at the same level. One thing is like, it's a visibility through their networks, and second thing is like, the reaching out to a number of performance labs through them, and then signing up subscriptions with each of those performance labs. And then obviously we're trying to find a way to all the major leagues. A number of coaches are connected, and we are talking with them on similar terms, just like Walter Beat.
Yeah, keep getting videos like that. Like I would try and get like 100 times that many videos exactly the same. Like if
We're
there's
working
number
on
one thing, it's like, hey, can we send you some HydroSense? You know, put a video out. Let's try it out. Like let
Yeah.
us know, give us product feedback. That kind of stuff does super well. So keep that up. That's great. Like I think when he holds it up, it like totally makes it like, especially for people on, who are sitting on deck screener, they're looking at a bunch of symbols in front of them. They're, trying to figure out, what to look at. I think having a coach like that come in and say, yeah, our team's using this, we got it. Like, great. That's amazing. So
Yeah, we do have one article also from a company called Footy Access. So a couple of magazines have published. I don't know if we have posted everything on Twitter, but yeah, we do have.
We're trying to uncover the gems here at the Microcap Gem Show for you and the iSense holders. So
Thank you for that.
the Dom, do you maybe the football one?
Well,
And
this is
sorry,
so.
Dom.
This is the
soccer one.
MLS right here. This is the MLS
Okay.
next kickoff delivers chaos. This is we just saw a tweet earlier that they're sponsored by iSense. So that's why I pulled this up here.
Yeah, this is the one I was talking. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just cool to see your product is making its rounds around the athletic world, and this is like wearable technology that could truly be implemented. You told us I don't know, and I don't even know if this is something you want to share, so you don't have to if you don't want to. But you told us a story about how, when you were getting these raises back a couple of years ago from the EU Commission and Sony, they specifically chose iSense over other big competitors, and you can name names or not, but like, can you tell us the benefit of like how you had those extra years to kind of work on this product, perfect it before really going to market? Or do you want
Yeah,
to tell
I
that
mean,
story if you know what I'm talking about, or it's up
yeah,
to you?
yeah. I definitely can mention that. Maybe with all the due respect, I might not mention the brand names, Dom, but yes, the
Fine.
story is like simple and straightforward. I think in Europe, we all get a lot of support from the ecosystem, the startup ecosystem, and European Commission is one of those largest organizations which encourages new innovations, and they fund the projects, right? But they're extremely competitive, and it's not coming to anybody and everybody. The projects are very strictly evaluated based on the strength of the IP, the market potential, innovativeness of the technology, and the team who's behind it, right? So those are some of the key metrics based off of what they evaluate a startup before they give us a grant, right? So we had gone through a couple of them, and that has given us the muzzle or the strength to remain heads down on the product development for this long time, without giving away too much equity in the company. So they gave us the funding, and we properly utilized it, and stayed the course to complete the product development, do enough validation and testing before we could hit the market. One way, yes, it is great. It is great to have that foothold in Europe and get that support and get that funding, and then come to the US market from the scaling perspective, because the market acceptance and the market acceptance is really great from the US perspective compared to EU. So I think we have a good narrative, established in Europe, did the things right, researched and developed the products, and came to the US market. And I would recommend to anybody who might be interested in doing a similar thing. But then, yeah, the competitions are like, yeah, they are neck to neck, and it's unless it's a highly competitive technology with large market potential. I mean, it's difficult to win through those competitions and win those grants. Yeah, just an example. I mean, few biggies, right? I mean, they exist in the market today, and big names. I mean, they did get funded at a later point in time. We competed with them, and we won the grants, and they walked away with nothing on that day. But yeah, they've done great. They've scaled with the products. They brought products. They couldn't make it because it's a piece of product from China, which is outsourced and remasked and launched as a big thing. And these guys from Europe, I mean, they see value in it. They see products which have that value, who commit to those sustainable development goals, and who make those promises, and who have that grit and vision to go a long way, right? So that's in a nutshell about that story.
Yeah, I love that. So I think it's great how like you were able to go on the stage and there are reputable brands that people would know. They would recognize these brands. And iSense was able to, win out the favor of the judges there and get those grants. And obviously you're trying to keep those names preserved, which is fair and fine. But I'll tell you guys this, it is definitely, there are some big name brands that you would know of that iSense was chosen over. So just interesting stuff. But
Thank you. I do have one last topic if you guys are
Yes,
fine,
please.
for
if
game.
I can go ahead with that. Um, I am openly asking for some kind of support from ICM.run with a term sheet like this that we have in our, in our mailboxes. And Mercy, especially, might have some knowledge around it. Of course, I mean, we can get on a separate call. I want to hear from Josh as well as to what he thinks. Josh, now that you have seen something like this in your past experience,
Yeah.
but could there be any crypto natives, any whales in the crypto world, who could come forward and support us to this? And if ICM Run could, give us some advice on this, that would be great. Obviously, we're looking forward to going on to the spaces. I mean, um, the next fundraise we are considering in the next couple of weeks, either through ICM Run, or if we manage to bring a combination of one or two investors who can tag along with GEM, and we can come out with better terms. If we can crack better terms, maybe that's an option. Or the third option, what we're thinking of is, like, we want to go for an equity crowdfund raise, through our own spaces using Twitter and the community on crypto. So we are looking for some piece of advices from you guys, and also from any others, who might have done this, from the crypto world.
Well, what we can definitely do is get this clipped up, and it's for sure something you can post on your Twitter and just give that call out to anyone who is looking to help you guys move on to next stages of fundraising and do that hopefully crypto natively through a crypto platform. And again, this is what ICM is all about. It's all about democratizing access to private companies, and this is a chance to get your hands on equity in iSense and what they're building if you believe in their vision from what you just heard or what you're seeing on their Twitter. So yeah, I mean, this clip alone can go on and we can make that a call to action for whoever wants. I'm not sure what ICM.run is doing in the equity standpoint, but
Right.
Mercy, here's your chance to get your foot in the door and talk with Shrisha here and figure it out. So yeah, I don't really know. Josh, you have anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, I think just I would keep playing up the influencer thing of like those athletes. If you can get a bunch of those, that way you can send those out to the marketplace. You can send those clips to prospective investors, and that's like high kind of good signal feedback kind of stuff. But
Right.
yeah, because ICM.run, what I think their model is, and like to be fair, we've contributed to the DAO, but I don't know if they do equity investment. They're more of like on-chain incubator. So what that means is like ICM projects give them a portion of their tokens, and then they help with advisory and relationship stuff. So within that, if you're to say, here's some projects have been given like $500 to $1,000 worth of tokens to them. Within that, you give them tokens, then you get access to their network, and they might be able to make some things happen on that front. But that's just how I understand how ICM.run works specifically. Yeah, I mean, you still got to just pull at this thread, keep pulling at this thread, because something will come up. It's just a matter of like, I don't have the specific answer for you right now, to be honest with you. That's just how I've seen how Mercy's done it.
All I'm saying is, like, we either do a combination with someone like Jens, that's an option, or the other option, if we get selected or go through ICM Run, I mean, it wouldn't have to be through equity. It would still be through tokens. The last option is, like, our own equity round that we probably will be announcing soon, once we understand how these things are going to move
Yeah, I mean, given how the system is developed today with, your ISENS token and then the equity that you hold, your probably highest leverage play, in my opinion, is to try and raise privately from either high net worth individuals, family offices, venture, or like, VC funds associated like Sony is with these big conglomerates that are in the space. Because when you get a few of those check sizes, I think it really, in a lot of ways, is it really de-risks the token side of things, and then that will reprice correctly as well. So, but yeah, getting a term sheet from that, I think is what you need to do. Because yeah, I mean, you already have the token's already out there in the world, right? And it does generate belief fees, which are good for the business. But yeah.
Got it. Maybe we can deep dive on these topics once again.
Yeah, these are things you probably want to do privately, obviously not on a live stream, of course.
So let's do that in a separate discussion.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this is pretty much what I had for this session. Unless you have more questions for me.
I think that was great. I think we got a lot of insight. Well, the mobile app's a pretty huge unlock too. Just again, early stages, but just to see where you're going to go with that and take it is, again, interesting. You mentioned you're exploring this data side to it. You have very rich data, valuable data that a lot of people would value in a bunch of different verticals. I mean, I don't even want to get you started. I'm sure you can go on and on, but like I think that's a very valuable vertical that you guys are building out. I'd love to see where you take that data side, and these partnerships are awesome too. So I think there was a lot compiled into this that people can watch back and really understand. And as always, we'll do what we can on the side of helping this business grow, connect you with people we find value in, and I'll send Mercy a message here and see what he knows about the equity side, and if they're doing anything like that in ICM.run. I don't think they are, but
no, I don't. They're an incubator, from what I understand. They're not VC.
But yeah, I think we covered it all. Unless you have any closing thoughts or words, Risha, you can go ahead and drop those.
I'm good, Dom. I think I've given all the information from my side, and really excited. The next couple of days. I mean, with the app and Garmin and a couple of those collaborations, which are on the way, and then with Kickstarter, obviously, I think we're going to put all our focus there. So exciting next couple of days and weeks is what I can say. For the project.
Yeah, good for you guys. Like keep going, keep pushing. This is one of those products that I feel like with the right athlete, that right NCAA athlete that tries this out and uses the product well and puts it on Instagram, like I feel like you could 10x your Kickstarter in like an afternoon if you can that right athlete. So like that video, like that. And then once you do that, like, I mean, people will see that and then price the token, and it drives volumes, it drives fees. Like then you kind of kicking off the flywheel a little bit with that product success. So
yeah, absolutely. I mean, we do have some more videos and we do have some more coming like that, Josh.
Love it.
I openly also stating here, if there are any athletes in this group, any token holders or already athletes, we look forward to working with you guys. So, please do support us, and just reach out to the team and me. We'd love to have that partnership with athlete influencers.
Awesome. Well, we can end stream actually here and then pick up this conversation offline if you want. And I'd love to look at that term sheet and get a little more understanding. Dom, I don't know if you had any last final things you wanted to wrap stream with, or should we end her there?
No, I mean we can end there.